Welcome to today at the Open. We are so close for that first tee shot being struck behind me. It's Christmas Eve for a lot of people standing around here on the 18th, but we're not quite there yet. The early part of this week has been all about celebrating the history of golf's oldest championship. So who better to hear from first in today's show than the men who have helped shape the story of the Open.
Contested across 3 rounds of 12 holes at Prestwick Golf Club, the very first Open was an 8-man contest designed to determine the world's greatest player. Prevailing by 2 strokes, Willie Parks Sr. was crowned champion golfer, becoming the first recipient of the Challenge Belt. 13 years would pass before the Old Course's Open Bow, and the 1873 edition saw a 27-man field compete for an £11 first prize and the Claret Jug, which had replaced the Challenge Belt a year prior. Countless legends have since held aloft golf's most iconic prize, and many who live to tell tales of their Open glory have flocked to St Andrews for a truly momentous week.
I think I played 8 Opens here, and St Andrews is always a special place. You come into it, and if you're not here during the tournament, it's this quiet city. You look at it, and then all of a sudden it just lights up.
It's the oldest championship in golf. That's what it means. I'm just a small part in the history of golf like this. I mean, this has a huge part of history. I'm glad to have been a part of that history. Would have liked to have won here, but I never did. But I had my chances and did pretty well at some other sites.
I always love coming back to the home of golf. I think about it all the time. This is where it all started. The only problem that I have, unless my wife and I come back for a vacation at the age of 82, I don't know whether I'll ever see this place again or not. But that's okay also, because I'm going to be cremated and you never know, my ashes liable to come right over that ocean.
Rory McIlroy is the bookies' favourite to take home the Claret Jug this week. We caught up with him this morning on the famously difficult 17th for an up and down masterclass from the road.
Rory, what do you do on the road? Traditionally I'm on here more than you, but how do you handle this situation if you do end up here?
Well, first thing I'm thinking about is not damaging my putter. I mean, you're just trying to give yourself a putt for par, but give yourself 15 or 20 feet and you're happy enough. So I'll try and give it a go.
All right, give it a crack for us. Be careful of that putter. This is as tough as it gets. Get up. Oh, wow. Wow, you put on a show for us today.
I'll take that.
You'll take that?
Yeah, I can hold that one.
Well, I don't think you can. 10 quid says you don't. Go on. Go on. Oh, no! Oh, you're a tenner.
The Old Course has so many iconic holes, but the first and the closing stretch are perhaps the most celebrated. Here's a little guide on what challenges lay ahead on those very holes this week.
You always have to battle the nerves on the first hole, any major championship. It's a fairway you can't really miss. You shouldn't miss it. So it puts a little bit more on you, but I mean it's such a special place just teeing off there. So I think you're excited and nervous at the same time.
I think in the front 9, you get something like the first, which looks like a very simple hole, big large fairway, 132 yards wide, just a burn running across it. But because the course is running so hard and fast, that could become a challenge.
Yeah, if the pin's at the front, you want to leave yourself far enough in that you can get some spin and give yourself an opportunity to get it close, particularly if it firms up, and if it's at the back, I mean, it doesn't really matter where you hit it as long as you're on the fairway somewhere.
16, 17, 18. 16's obviously asking for trouble with it out of bounds down the right. 17, same deal with the hotel there. It's just a demanding tee shot and second shot. And 18, it just gives you that chance to maybe nick a birdie at the last.
Once you get to that area on 18 and you have the street and the buildings from the right and around the green and the hotels and the atmosphere is hard to beat. Is the hole where you can kind of relax, look around and take it in, because the tee shot is not very challenging. You can pretty much do whatever you want off the tee, just put it in grass. And that's where, you know, you go and you get to the bridge, you take your picture on the bridge, you're looking at what's going on, you know, you can acknowledge what great players have gone through that spot, you know, the retirement moments, the champions, and kind of hope and dream that you are the one crossing down on Sunday afternoon with a healthy cushion trying to win the Open. And looking around, it is very, very unique. No matter when you go, you can feel it's something a little bit different.
Can you imagine hitting the first tee shot at the 150th Open? Oh, no, not for me. Even though this fairway is ridiculously wide, that's not for me. But the man who's been given the honour is 1999 champion Paul Lawrie, the Scotsman, in his home country. No better way to get this started.
Few in the field are as well acquainted with the home of golf as 1999 champion golfer Paul Lawrie, a stalwart of 5 Opens here.
That'll do. Yes. Wonderful.
Carnoustie's conqueror has had the honour bestowed upon him of hitting the first tee shot of the 150th Open this Thursday morning.
Laurie's the winner.
I've done it once before here when it was here, so Mr. Slumbers phoned me a few weeks ago and asked me if I would do it, so looking forward to big honour to hit the opening tee shot. I kind of step back a wee bit from playing the full-time sort of stuff, but I mean I'll play a few more Opens before I'm 60, but it won't be that many more. But it's nice to play. I wasn't going to miss this one. It's a big occasion for everybody, and it's always nice to play around the old course. I'm always nervous on the first tee, no matter what tournament I'm playing. It's the only tee I'm ever nervous in when I play. I don't know why, but I've always been that way, so Thursday will just be the same and maybe a little bit more. But luckily it's a nice big wide fairway down there. But now I've said that, it'll probably narrow a bit on Thursday morning, but no, looking forward to it.
So that's it from today at the Open. You go get yourself a lovely little sleep as we enjoy the views here on the 18th hole. It's hard to imagine that this championship is getting started tomorrow morning. 4 amazing rounds of golf where I feel there's going to be a big slice of history being made.